Massachusetts is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the gentleman from Pennsylvania for yielding me the customary 30 minutes, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, we are here today to consider a rule for H.R. 1, a bill that might as well be called the Polluters Over People Act. And it's yet another example of how this majority, instead of helping everyday Americans, is doing the bidding of their deep-pocketed friends. We had another mass shooting yesterday, but Republicans won't lift a finger because of the gun lobby. We had another train derailment this week, but Republicans won't lift a finger because of the polluters. Our planet is on fire, but Republicans won't lift a finger because of big oil. Banks are going under, but Republicans want to deregulate more to help their friends on Wall Street. They want to protect kids from what teachers teach in the classroom, but not against lead pipes in schools. They say they want to stop inflation, but won't go after the billionaire corporations who aren't paying any taxes while they rip people off. Time after time after time, Republicans continue to put politics over people, and it shows. Anyone who spends 2 seconds reading this bill can see that it is a dirty energy, pro-polluter plan that would drag our economy back decades. This bill puts polluters over people. It makes it easier for companies to strip public lands of their resources and harder to hold corporate polluters accountable for the mess that they make. It gives more handouts to big oil, as if the industry's CEOs and shareholders haven't already raked in enough money. Record profits over the last few years. It guts half a century of environmental protections that ensure the air we breathe and the water we drink is clean. And it sets our country back as the rest of the world moves towards a clean energy future. There will be plenty of time for us to talk about all the damage the Polluters Over People Act could do to our country and communities. But let me just highlight a few of the worst. First, it increases the national deficit by $500 million. Considering how much we hear from our colleagues across the aisle about the deficit and the deficit and the deficit and the deficit, it is fascinating that their most important bill blows a hole in the deficit. So much for their commitment to fiscal discipline. And don't take my word for it, just consult CBO. And it's a little bit ironic that on a day that they're asking that there be dramatic cuts in all kinds of programs that help people in this country, they come up with this bill and add close to $500 million to our deficit. Second, it's a job killer. This bill will kill jobs. Over the last few years, Democrats have invested in building a homegrown clean energy system so we don't have to rely on foreign cartels like OPEC and greedy big oil companies for our energy. Investing in these clean energy projects meant we created millions of clean energy jobs. The Polluters Over People Act would kill these jobs and pull our country off course from our path towards a cleaner, cheaper energy future. Third, it makes it easier to pollute, and it makes it easier for companies to get away with polluting. Just yesterday, a local grandfather in East Palestine, Ohio, detailed the pain caused by the terrible toxic spill there. He said he's, and I quote, never cried this much in his life. His young granddaughters developed blotches all over their bodies, and their eyes were burning. This bill would mean more billionaire corporations getting away with polluting without being held accountable. More wells with toxic chemicals. More days where windows are shut because the air is not safe to breathe. More kids diagnosed with asthma because the air quality is so poor. And the worst part is that the Republicans do not care. Their bill literally puts polluters over the people we are here to serve. It forces American taxpayers to foot the bill for cleanup while billionaire corporations dump their toxic waste on our communities. This is sick. Look at what is happening to our planet, Mr. Speaker. Year after year, the warmest ever recorded. Species going extinct at rates not seen in millions of years. Sea levels rising and coastal communities feeling the impacts. Farmers struggling to cope with changing seasons. Unprecedented droughts and crop failures. And the answer from my Republican friends is more fossil fuels, more pollution, more drilling, more toxic waste dumped into our communities, more giveaways for big oil, and nothing, not a single thing to lower energy prices. This bill might as well put ExxonMobil and Chevron in charge of our response to climate change. It might as well put Norfolk Southern in charge of chemical safety. It is a terrible bill that will shackle us to a dirty fossil fuels for generations to come. And I urge a no vote on the rule and the underlying legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.